But at this time, India has a lot of good news to report. Recently, a few months ago, India raised its ranking on the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business report by 30 places over the previous year and 42 places over the previous 2 years. So that's a pretty significant increase in its ranking and on a metric that a lot of business leaders watch. Second, the Indian economy is on a growth path. Coming to Davos is important for Indian business leaders and for Indian political leadership like the Prime Minister and various ministers, because India is an important beneficiary of globalization. India wants to be part of globalization. For instance, every major corporation around the world has operations in India, or if they don't have operations already, they will be thinking of having operations in India. You simply cannot ignore India. Recently, India rose to be 5th in ranking globally by real dollar GDP, which is a significant moment for India. So from a global business point of view, every CEO has to think about what is their India strategy. In that context, it's important that the Prime Minister is here to authentically relate what he plans to do in terms of furthering policy reforms. He's already done a fair amount. The goods and services tax that he introduced last year streamlines Indian indirect taxation, creating a common market in India really for the first time. He's introduced a bankruptcy code that allows banks to deal with bad debt and allows those companies that were stuck with bad debt to restructure and either go forward or be liquidated. That in turn helps banks clean up their balance sheets, allowing them to lend more, which will stimulate further economic activity. FDI has been a good spot for India. India has been doing very, very well in FDI. About $59 billion or so flowed in last year. So overall, the India economic story is a good news story for businesses. I thought Prime Minister Modi's speech laid out clearly how India looks at globalization and at the problems that confront the globe today. He identified 3 areas. 1, climate change, where India and he himself has been quite a leader in promoting the Paris Accord. 2, terrorism. And 3, isolationism, where countries begin to look inwards. He felt that all 3 needed to be essentially combated really through a multipolar outlook on the world, through multiculturalism, and broadly by democracy and diversity. I thought the reaction was very positive. I thought Modi framed the globalization narrative in a very new way. It was not about hard military power, it was more about inclusive development. He evoked old Indian philosophy about the whole world being one family. While in a family there can be various quarrels, at the end of the day we've all got to be committed to each other's well-being.